Hello everyone, my name is Alicia Jackson, licensed professional counselor, and welcome to my channel. I am an internal family systems therapist, and so we're going to talk about the frustration and all the feelings that may come up and responses that may come up as we get to learn our system a little bit more, as we get to learn the ways that we become more aware of the parts that are protecting us. There can be some really strong reactions to that, some really big reactions to that. And those reactions are welcome. And please voice them. Please voice them. I would encourage you to share them with your IFS therapist, your IFS practitioner, because that's a key part of the healing process. It can be a little overwhelming. It can be a little overwhelming to meet our parts, and learn how they show up, become more aware of it. There's a few reasons why that is. One, because especially if you're new to internal family systems and you're just getting, okay with the idea of being multiple, of having different parts of you, like, okay, and that doesn't mean that I have dissociative identity disorder, which is a common comparative to parts, because that's really the only frame of work that we have, but it's much different than dissociative identity disorder. We all have parts. Part of me wants to go to the mall, part of me doesn't. Part of me wants to go to the grocery store, part of me doesn't. Part of me feels like I need to go to bed early, but part of me wants to stay up and binge watch the show. We have different parts of us. That is normal. And so once we come to the place of accepting that, which is a process in itself, then, okay, we start to become aware of these parts. And we start to be more aware of how they're showing up for us. Maybe we didn't know that we had all these parts. We thought, okay, maybe I have 10 or 12. And then we get to continue to map and like, oh, I have more than that. And what does that mean about me? What does that say about me? There may be a part of you that has that question. Know that where there is protection, there is hurt. Parts don't say, what does that mean about you? No, parts answer the question, what happened to you? What happened to you? Oftentimes, there's a part that may come up and say, well, does that mean that something's wrong with me, or am I too traumatized that I have all of these parts? And this is why I truly love IFS, because we know that there are no bad parts. Our parts are looking out for us. And so where we know that there is protection, there is hurt. This was a way our mind, our body responded to this thing that was harmful. And it showed up in this way to protect us for survival. And there's nothing wrong with that. And there can be a part of us that may have some fear about accepting that, and that's also okay, right? Unfortunately, it can feel like sometimes going to a therapist's office that you are finding out what is wrong with you, right? Because you'll hear that language, I don't need to go to therapy because nothing's wrong with me. When really, therapy is a way that you are engaging with yourself and learning about yourself. So if you ever have a thought or a question about I wonder why I do the things that I do. I wonder why I show up like this. Therapy is a way that you can get those answers. Definitely an internal family systems therapy. And so when we do have this sometimes big reaction to the parts that we have and how many different parts we have, taking time, one, to vocalize those needs to your IFS therapist or IFS practitioner, and to welcome any parts, because all parts are welcome in a therapeutic session. And hopefully, as you continue to learn and engage with your parts, you'll be able to welcome them as well. Also, what can happen as we're getting to learn our parts and know why they're protecting us, and know how many parts we have, it can be a sobering thing. It can be a sobering thing because we have parts of us that have taken us out of our reality, that have told us or created a narrative of what happened versus what really happened. And then it can be a very sobering reality of the things that we have experienced. Take time to process that. Take time with your therapist or your practitioner to explore that, to explore all of that. Take time to journal. And then, of course, note what parts are coming up as you are processing these realities that your system was protecting you from. It really can be eye-opening to know all the things that you have been protecting yourself from. And once you do have this eye-opening experience, though, there's a greater appreciation for these parts. Because when we realize what they truly were protecting you from, these really big things like abandonment and rejection and feeling alone and unsafe, then there's a greater appreciation for them. So it's twofold, right? There's some sobering feelings and some like, oh my goodness, I didn't know that this was my reality, that this is what I was really dealing with. And two, thank you so much. Thank you so much for showing up in this way to protect me. Oh, no, I didn't like your methods, but I understand, right? I understand why you were protecting me in that way, why you were looking out for me that way, because you didn't know any other way. Our parts, no matter how many parts we have, it does not say that something's wrong with us or that we are too traumatized or that we are too broken. That's not what it says. It is just a representation of what happened to us. So take some time to sit with yourself and note what comes up. Note what comes up in your therapy sessions. Discuss it with your IFS therapist and your IFS practitioner. If you have any questions about the wonderful journey of learning how many parts and all the parts that you have, feel free to comment below. If you're still with us, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And as always, be cool, be calm, be centered. Peace.